Hey everyone, and welcome to another podcast of Kickin' It with Craig and Gregg, the podcast for children over 40. I'm Gregg.
I'm Craig. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 27. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And today we got a special guest with us, our good friend Dave Reilly.
Dave Reilly, he's a comedian. He's been on TV. Weren't you on HBO too?
Ooh, no, I subscribe to HBO.
Oh, okay. He's been all over the United States.
One time the box fell on the floor.
And he was on
and
it.
I stood on top of it for a minute getting to the back of the TV to move the tinfoil. So I was actually technically on HBO.
Was that a home box office?
It was a home box office.
Yeah, so he's been all over the world, man. So he's a very dear friend of mine, and I'm very honored for him to be on the podcast. So,
it's just up there. You're looking at the old spot.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got to stop
I was
that.
wondering
man.
if we were going to do that, but I saw it.
Okay. Damn, I'm so used to looking over there. Anyway, so we're from Connecticut, and there's some doings going on in Connecticut. Like it's all over the news about this.
Doings?
Yeah, doings.
Doings. Do people really say doings anymore?
I just said it.
All right. But I was just saying, do people say doings?
I do.
All right.
All right. So anyway, we were talking about Plymouth. They have the swingers club in Plymouth that just got closed down. And what pissed me off?
Did they give you your money back?
What pissed me off is I didn't know that there was a swingers club.
Come on.
I know. You figured I'd know.
We heard that it's still open.
Yeah, he's fighting it.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is that last week I was doing a show in Bristol for a fundraiser, and somebody brought up the fact that they're like, "Oh, did you know there's a swingers club in Terryville, right? Is it Terryville or Plymouth?"
It's Plymouth.
Oh,
Main Street.
Same difference.
Same
yeah,
difference.
Right, it's right there.
It's like you're missing 3 teeth versus 4 teeth or whatever. Yeah. Double wide, single wide, whatever.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. And listen, it's a nice little town, but like the quality of the couples that would attend there, I guess, would be questionable. Like,
Well, because then you got brothers and sisters going together.
yeah, well, but that's a good thing because then you'd finally be, you know what I mean? You'd be with your cousin instead of your sister. So
I got no problem with that.
Would you ever? I mean, I know we all have significant others, but now is a swingers club? You have to bring a date. I imagine.
Well,
but
no,
you can't go stag.
I was interested. I actually went to their website. I'm like, I gotta see what this is all about. Mm-hmm. And it said that Friday nights they allow. So you got to think every single dude, is gonna want to go there. So if you're a single dude, you're like, oh, I want to go to a swingers club,
right.
because it's a swingers club and you're a single dude. But no swingers really want a bunch of dudes there.
Yeah.
Your goal would be to have like 100 chicks there, because if you're
that's
there
an
with-
orgy. Yeah.
you're there with your old lady, and then another chick comes in. Okay, no problem. No dude ever would be like, if your girl was like, hey honey, I'm thinking about bringing home Susie from work today.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be like, no, honey, I don't know. That's fine. But if you were like, hey, I'm gonna bring home Bob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If she said, I'm going to bring home Bob, you'd be like, I don't know.
I feel like whatever you have in your head as far as an orgy goes, it's totally not going to be there.
Right.
But that's the thing. So I was like, well, what's it look like? But so any girls could go single if you want, but their whole thing is that you got to hang out with each other first and talk about what's going to happen, I guess. I don't know if you discuss it. I've never done it. I've never been like...
I wish I knew someone who was there, just to go the ins and outs.
And then Sean was
No pun
telling me
intended.
that like Monday nights you can come alone, like because
Literally?
right.
I don't even have to go to swingers.
Right.
I'm
Swingers
really
in
good.
my shower.
We should start a club like that because I'm really good at that one.
The handy club. The handy
I
club.
started that at like 12.
Dude, you got to shut that shit off.
I did.
Yeah.
So, but I imagine that it has to be. You have to bring a date, and you guys swap. It's swingers.
Well, yeah, you can't, and that's the problem. Is like, all right, I'm coming to a picnic, and we're having a picnic at Gregg's house, and I bring steak, and Gregg brings out like one of those meat dogs that are mechanically separated chicken.
Steakums.
Not even mechanically separated chicken dogs, hot dogs. And I'm like, bro, I brought a steak to share, and you want me to eat your crappy ass hot dog?
Right.
You
got to make sure that
you're gonna be alone. You got to bring some quality, I guess. Or everyone thinks they're quality. Why wouldn't anyone want to bang me?
Well, that's what you hope.
But it's not even that. I mean, what you're bringing to the party may have been a great condiment back in the day, but
Right.
you know what I mean?
I'm 57 years old.
And I like to know what the age range is, because if you got some fucking upper 50s, a little fucking crazy. But if you got
upper 50s are they're the ones that know what's going on.
That's the mark.
that's what's going on.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I didn't know
I
that.
firmly believe that.
And then what they do is they all take their teeth out, and I think that's how you figure out who goes with who. You
Right,
know what I mean? Like, you reach in and you get, are these yours? Yeah. I'm with you.
Oh, I dropped them earlier. Yes, they are.
No, but leave them out.
Instead of throwing keys in a jar, you throw your teeth.
How'd you know that they put keys in a jar? How'd you know?
Because I heard about it
put
before.
keys in a
I
jar.
heard it before. Dude.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it before.
Don't tell Karina. I don't care. She never
What do
watches
you mean
this
don't tell her?
shit
She was
anyways.
there, obviously, if you're swinging.
So
Your ugly ass didn't show up by yourself. Like, hey, I'm here.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the guy is actually fighting it, though. He's like, no, what we do behind closed doors, this is a private club, man. You guys can't shut us down. And you know what? I totally agree with that.
Well, no, the thing is that there's a church next door.
It's
they're-
unsavory.
It's the church guy is obviously, because they opened it next to a church.
That's what they call irony.
Yes.
Is that irony? That
Yeah,
is-
but they open preschools next to Catholic churches
Right.
all the time, and that's
Right.
same
Oh.
difference.
Ooh, that's like pedophile shit.
No, he's right. He goes, it's the same thing. It's
Right.
the same thing.
Right, Blessed Sacraments right there.
And like,
church.
at least swingers, you know what they're doing. They're just doing each other normal stuff. They're not
Right, you know, like
Dude,
young
if
they're
shit.
not doing my kid.
If
You
it's
know what I mean?
right.
Where Father Flanagan is like, come here, little Joey. You know what I mean?
It's our
Obi
little,
Jabbers,
it's our
get over
little
here.
secret.
That's why Greg
Oh, we're both altar boys, so we know.
Oh, he's saying that's why I'm bald. They wore it out.
Craig, I always get you mixed up.
Just suck it.
You both look the same from the top. It's okay.
Rub my balls, Greg, and suck my dick, Greg.
But I think I let it be, man. It's a victimless crime. I honestly think that, man. Who you hurting, man?
Nothing, just the furniture.
Dude, the cleaning bill must be
Dude,
crazy.
and if you go on the website, it shows all the furniture is all like.
Come on.
Yes, on all the furniture they do. They
Don't
do.
bring
On
a
all
blue
the-
light.
Yeah, that should be the name of the
Blue
club.
light.
Come on. Oh, that's the name of a after school thing for kids. Like,
Is it?
For,
Come on.
yeah, for if your kid needs extra help or something.
Come on.
But it's spelled Kumon. Did you ever see it? They're like in
No.
plazas
No.
and stuff. It's called Come On. That's kind of creepy.
And
now.
that's
They
a little
just put
kid
that
thing?
together. Yeah. Now everybody watching, all four of you, when you get down to the mall and you
Go to-
see that,
right.
you're gonna go, hey.
Yeah,
Why
there's some
would they
innuendo going there.
Why
going
would they
on
spell
there.
it that way? That's fucked up.
Yeah, right. You're like,
That's
well,
fucked
because
up.
your kid's stupid and doesn't know. So
Right.
the day your kid goes there, goes, Mommy, they spelled that wrong. You go, we don't have to come here anymore.
Right. That's it.
I'll be back to
No,
pick
it's
you
not
up
come
at
out.
5.
It's come out. Come out. You're all set.
fuck.
Yeah, we're
dude.
done with this shit. So I was on TikTok today, and
I'm on TikTok every day.
dude, I can't stop.
Dude, no, I'm really bad.
They're about to get. It's up for sale.
It's a problem.
Amazon might buy it. I heard, but it is a problem.
I can't poop without it. No, I seriously can't. I'll go sit, get ready, and then I get up and go get my phone.
Well, your algorithm.
Yeah, you stop short. Wait.
Oh yeah, if I go to the bathroom on my phone, I gotta go back
No,
out.
I'm coming
I don't
back.
care if I'm in pinch mode.
The amount of fecal matter that's on your phone.
What, dude? Do you know the Facebook algorithm? You're asking, literally knowing when you guys were gonna shit. They already. It was like factual.
And they know everything.
They know
Because
when you're
everything,
shit.
whatever you talk about, there's advertisements for.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. When I saw hamster lube come up on my thing, I'm like, how do they know?
They know what you were doing.
I need
They saw it on
hamster
your credit
lube.
I
card.
gotta really start checking myself.
Yeah, it's everything comes up on there.
So what I was getting at was that they had this Down syndrome girl that's fucking smoking, and you never seen that. She's like fit, and she's.
Is this a bit?
No, it really isn't. I'm telling you, she was fit, but they made a thing about it, like this girl's hot and she's that, and then you run to the messages, the comments. You got to run to them because the comments were going up like, if she's down, I'm down because she was so hot, or if they were calling her what do you call it?
Where's this?
Jennifer
TikTok?
Slope. Jennifer Slope.
You didn't see that?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I didn't see it.
I think.
Jennifer Slope
I
has.
could only imagine what your algorithm looks like next to my algorithm.
But-
like I'm looking at the regular, run-of-the-mill standard
I was-
porn.
I was-
I go deep. I go
don't-
deep. I go deep.
I was telling Greg, I think they're filters that people are putting a Down syndrome face, and they got a real nice body. And I think because there was one girl I think that was a Down syndrome girl, and she had a nice body. And after that, now everyone's doing it with a filter. I think so.
Of course, they're gonna find a way to degrade it, man. Because let the girl just be a hot Down syndrome girl, man. If there ever was one, that girl was smoking, man. You could tell, man.
Austin, you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them. There's also girls that will put like a dildo in their pants and pretend that they're trans too.
Oh yeah, see,
everywhere.
that just fucks up everyone's shit.
I feel so dirty in this conversation. Man. Like, what's the name of the movie? Corky and Porky? What is that?
Dude, it just it came across, and the comments were so crazy. It was something about forget it, man. It was just I ran to the comments. It was just so funny. And why do they always put it to music? The comments, like,
oh, they do.
If you're down, I'm down.
Well,
like
because they put it in chat.
yeah.
The AI
The
generator.
AI generation. Yeah.
This AI song generator, it's so fucking funny.
Have you guys ever looked up that Two Girls in a Cup?
Yes.
That shit is disgusting.
That was a long time ago. I'll never.
Dude, even Family Guy covered that.
No, that was. No.
Ooh.
That's great.
Ooh.
I had to look it up. I mean, I
Yeah,
watched,
but it wasn't. If you look close, that fecal matter wasn't your run. That was like made. Like they made that. It was
I
like,
don't believe that. Dude.
Yeah, that was like, oh, dude, nobody's ever taken a shit that looks like that. I mean, it actually almost looked appetizing. Like I'm like,
It
You know
looks
what I mean?
like it tastes like chocolate.
No, it looks like it looked like oatmeal and melted chocolate put together. It really did. It didn't look like a turd. You know what I mean? It didn't gross me. I didn't look at it and go like,
It looked like straight soft serve.
yeah. It was just, you know.
Dude, some
Dude, if
people
you
are
do
into
that on the
shit.
regular, you got a
Hey,
problem.
come on, and
you got a problem.
who's gonna eat that? That's just, I don't know. I don't get that. I don't even get the whole scat thing, and you know, it just doesn't do.
Hey,
it.
So,
Go ahead.
I'll
You
say-
wanted that in my family. Go ahead.
So the reason why I know this gentleman is back in the day he owned a DJ company, and I started to be a
Twilight
DJ.
Entertainment,
Twilight-
DJs Plus, a new dimension in sight and
In
sound,
sound.
taking you up and down, side to side through the hands of time, giving you a 90-minute, non-stop, commercial-free music sweep. Something special you want to hear? I want to hear from you. The power lines are open. Please dial carefully.
Dude, it's
Damn, he still
music. Dude,
remembers
that's
that.
music. Yeah, it's music to my ears. What you just said, and that's how I know him. But actually, we've been friends for like 30, 40 years. But I want to know what
I
was,
know you from from like school.
Yeah.
And then mostly from kicking people in the face with roller skates. That's really I know.
I'm not about that life no more, but it used to be fun.
Yeah, he could actually spin around with roller skates on and kick people in the face and, knock
fuck
them out.
your
And
day up.
Yeah, he did that.
Gay!
And I was the guy to be like, "Hey, he called you a fag."
But what my question was is what made you decide to just be? Everyone thinks you're funny, but I think you're especially funny. But what made you want to be a comedian? What drove you to say I got this? Like and to take the shot?
I didn't. That never happened.
No.
Never happened. So the story is, we was DJing.
And
I
that's
was a DJ.
And that helps with your being in front of people,
Well,
right?
I was a DJ, and then I opened up Looney Tunes Comedy Club in Plainville, Connecticut.
I remember that.
Was it right near?
early
Well, it was right
90s.
near the Swingers Club.
It was right near the Swingers Club, and we had two dudes in a cup, and Gregg was very good at that. He
Oh,
was very
dude,
good.
I finished.
And what happened was one night we had all these New York comics that we rolled into there. Well, I used to own Club Fantasia before.
I
that,
remember that.
I was a partner.
I DJ'd
I was just
there.
a partner in there, and I left there.
Now it's
and
Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah, and I left there, and I said, "Oh, we're going to do something different." And one of the owners owned that building. He's like, "Hey, you want to do something?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So we created. I went to the. Back in the day, there was the Red Bull Inn. Remember the Red Bull Inn?
Oh, Red Bull
And they were
Inn.
doing comedy
Shout out
night.
Sean.
They were
Austin
doing,
remembers Red Bull Inn?
No,
Yeah.
you don't remember that.
no, that's
shook
what
his
he
head.
was probably made in the parking lot
Yes,
of Red Bull
I
Inn.
was
Right.
making his-
He got scraped
Yeah,
off the
those are-
sheets.
Because you could get a room there for like $20 for like 4 minutes, and that's
Right.
His
I
mom
think
said, "What
4
up?"
minutes. Greg can make 3 kids. So we went there to just get ideas for appetizers and stuff like that. And there was a comedy show going on, and there was a dude Frank D'Amico, who is a very funny comedian. He's been on TV and did all kinds of stuff. He was big guy. He was like he had to be 400 pounds from very Italian. He was a funny dude, and I talked to him after the show, and he's like, yeah, listen, I can help you. You should do a comedy club with your club. And I'm like, I'm just opening like a restaurant thing. Nah, you gotta do a comedy club. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll do a comedy club. So by just, all right, we'll do comedy. So we did a comedy club. Third week in, the MC and the feature guy didn't show up, and it was just a headliner. And he's like, I can't go up cold. I need you to warm up the crowd. I'm like, well, I'm not a comic, so you're screwed. So whatever, just go up, I don't know. Yeah, but you could just, I heard you on the microphone. I'm like, yeah, I was a DJ, but I'm not. Yeah, but you could do it. And I'm like, so what?
Dude,
he
that's
goes,
brass balls.
so he goes, I'm not going to go up. He goes, I'm not going up if you go up. I'm like, oh, you're such a pussy. I'm like, all right, what do you want? Give me a couple jokes. So he gives me like 2 jokes, and they're dumb. They're dumb. Better than what you guys use here on this show, but they were in a quality environment.
All right, give us one. Buddy.
Well, as soon as you guys do one, then I'll fucking counter you.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I get up and I tell the joke, and it sucked. You know how that is.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I do.
so I'm like, this is terrible. And a guy yelled at me. He's like, you suck, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. And I nailed him back, and I'm saying all kinds of terrible things to him to be a jerk, not trying to be funny. I'm pissed that the guy's, I'm not even thinking comedy. I'm like, I'm going to ruin your day. So I'm saying all kinds of bad shit to the guy. And all of a sudden, people started laughing. I was like, wait a minute, you're laughing. I just called this guy an asshole, and you're laughing. I'm like, oh, well, so I'd insult him more, and people laugh more. And I'm like, well,
Now, is that would you say that's kind of like a drug when you get those laughs?
well, at that moment, no, not then, because I didn't really figure, it didn't really connect together, because I was pissed still. I wasn't trying to get a laugh, so it wasn't.
Right.
So they laughed, and I'm like, oh, all right. So I did it a few times, and then I'm like, all right, and I was pissed. I left stage pissed, but everybody came up to me afterwards like, dude, you were really funny. You should do more time, because you're really funny. You're a funny comedian. I'm like, I'm not a comedian.
Right.
I'm the owner.
And I'm mad.
Yeah, and I bartended and cooked in the back. I was like, oh. And the guy's like, dude, you were good. You should do it again tomorrow night. So I called the comic that was supposed to come. I said, dude, don't even bother coming tomorrow. I got this. So I did another 3 minutes of time and brought the guy up. And then over time, I kept going up on stage. I started hosting. And then the comedians that worked for me would come up on stage and afterwards, and then in the back room afterwards, and be like, hey, you know what, if you did this and stop here and pause there and say this and turn your head when you did, oh, okay. And they gave me, so I had all these
Like you're
amazing
doing
comedians.
us today.
Right.
Yes. So I was like, and they'd be like, hey, you suck, you should do this, do that. And I had comedians, we had Gallagher play at our club.
That Smashing Pumpkins, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Smashing Pumpkins.
Wait.
And
No,
this
it's
was-
watermelon, asshole.
But this was when he was, he was big. He's dead now.
Well,
so,
which
but,
one? Which one? There's 2.
First,
Gallagher.
yeah, well, no, there's
Oh,
2. There's
2.
Ron and Leo.
Right.
So the first time we had Ron, which is his brother that looks like him, and he would do all the smaller clubs because Leo was too big. You couldn't touch him. He got like $30,000. Fast forward, I ended up opening another club. I had a club in Naugatuck called Club Comedy, and Leo, the main guy, was now on his way down. So he was more affordable. He was like $10,000 opposed to $50,000.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna spend $10,000. Gonna bring this motherfucker in. Because he was somebody to me. I didn't care if anybody knew who he was anymore.
Right.
He was my guy when I was a kid. So I was like, so he gets there. This is a true story, and we're sitting there, and he loved weed. He's smoking weed every second. Like he's just constantly toking. And I'm like, dude, you're so high. How do you do it? He's like, oh yeah, and that's like his thing. So he goes, where's my sledge-o-matic table? And I'm like, what do you mean?
That was like a rider. He had to have it.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to supply the table that he smashes all the bullshit on. Now, everybody remembers the watermelon, but that's not really the main thing. The main thing was the patented pie. He would take out these pie tins, and he would pour shit into it, and that's the stuff that really splattered the room. The watermelons didn't really go very far.
I never seen that. All I saw
the
was
watermelon, they smash the watermelon, and you get a little bit go out.
Right.
But the pies, he'd get these pie tins, and we went out shopping, and he bought like chickpeas and sour cream and mayonnaise and any kind of shit that's just gonna look disgusting.
And that's nasty on you.
Oh, so there's plastic all over the place. So anyway, we're out back, and he goes, "Where's the table?" I'm like, "Dude, I ain't got no table. I thought you bring the table." And he's like, "No, I don't bring the table. It's in the contract." I was like, well, "What do we do?" He goes,
I didn't read it.
He goes, "Let's go to Home Depot." And I'm like, "Now this guy was like one of my idols, Now, so we're in Waterbury Home Depot with Gallagher buying 2x4s and 4x8s and all shit, and then we're back, and it was like this father-son moment where we're building the table
And
for
you're
Gallagher.
enamored by him. Like,
And
I
I'm
can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I'm building the table with Gallagher. And he did that, and that was one of his last shows. Like I think it was like 4 months later after he did our club.
How long ago was this?
This was like 7 years ago. I think I had that club.
Damn.
And then but we had a lot of people. We had Chris Rock work for me in Cape Cod for $75. That was before he was before he was anybody. He was he was still just
he
when
must have been dope.
he was pretty funny.
You don't even know. Yeah.
So, and Lisa Lampanelli, who's she was a comedian.
We all know her.
She was going out with the guy Frank D'Amico at the time when we met.
Was he black?
No, D'Amico. It's Italian.
Right.
No, he was Italian. And so she used to play the club, and then we had a lot of guys out of New York, a lot of Boston comics. So we had a lot of good talent come through, and all those people, you pick things up along the way, and they tell you things, and they help you out, and and so it was a total accident. So one day, and then when I had Cape Cod in the winter time, it got slow, and I couldn't afford to bring in comics, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it
myself.
every night.
And then realized,
because it was always a different crowd coming up for the weekend, so I just went on stage, and I would do a lot of improv and make stuff up. So that's how.
Where'd you come up with the look?
It was just over time. So the whole thing was to look like. I started doing like wearing the leather jacket coming out, and that was just because I'm the opposite of that. You know what I mean? So I'd come out as a tough guy, and then I flip over into just craziness.
No,
so
sensitive and funny.
So and then listen, I didn't know. That's my tagline, because what happened was over time.
Is that your tagline now?
Yeah. Listen, these are my shirts.
Right.
So listen, the back says I didn't know.
Can I get one?
So
Is there a site you can get on and you get those shirts?
yeah,
What
absolutely.
is it? Funny Guy Productions?
No, it's actually I don't even know if it's on there, and we sell them at the show.
So
but,
mention it.
You got merch, or you got merch?
yeah, the two people watching don't have money. If they had money, they'd be like renting something on Netflix. But you know what I mean?
Fuck it, you got it. Fuck it, dude. You never
They're
know.
at a bus stop right now trying to fucking get home, and they're just like going, "Oh,
Boy, he was funny. Craig,
So-
interesting. All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Interesting fact that he didn't know our brother Kurt, and he goes, dude. He starts telling me about Fantasia, and he goes, I had this fucking bartender that just lit the crowd up, and he had his own way of speaking and stuff.
You big? You cool?
Yeah, and he went and he started talking in Kurt speak, my older brother, and he goes, dude, the dude
He has
was
his own
crazy.
language.
And I went, that's my brother, and he went, get the fuck out. That's not my brother. No, that's not
Is
your
his
brother.
name Kurt?
Yeah, and he went, and he.
But then I put it together, and like I see how much he drank and how much you drink, and I'm like, yeah, I see the connection. He was
Kurt was very entertaining.
He was
Austin,
very entertaining, and he like knew how to.
And the
Work the
babysit
crowd?
I
Oh, my
babysat
God,
him
yeah.
drinking. It was crazy.
He would have been a great comic. He should really do that.
Yeah, but he has more of like a dry comic.
Oh, very dry.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
because you don't know what's coming. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, many mornings that we'd come to the club, and because he bartended there, he was an amazing bartender, and we'd come in the morning, and there would be Kurt laying in the bags of garbage with his shoes missing.
Right.
You know.
You should have took a picture, dude.
I have a picture somewhere. I have to find it. Yeah.
Never let him.
I just remember him going, I lost my shoe. There was a whole thing that he lost his shoe. And it was like a $800
Oh yeah, he was.
That's what Kurt did.
Givenchy, whatever
Right.
shoe that, I wouldn't know an $800 shoe from an $80 shoe.
Believe me,
so-
I babysat him a couple times.
Dude, there was a couple nights he came home from DJing. I keep saying DJ, bartending at your club, and like the room stunk, and like, what is that whipped cream in your ear?
Yeah,
Sure. No, it's Dave Reilly.
Could have been if he was passed out. It's fair game.
didn't
Open
take it-
game, open game.
He didn't take his shoes off.
Open gay.
Yeah, open game. Yeah, if you
Open
didn't
game.
take your shoes off, all is good.
There was a lot of good times. We had a lot of good times at all those. I had the Cape Cod one. I had the Connecticut one. Yeah, 2 in Connecticut. 3.
Awesome.
Down to Vintage, too, in Waterbury. I had on the second floor with Vossi's. Remember Vossi?
Oh yeah,
Vossi owned Vintage, and we opened the comedy club
Vossi
together.
owns Spartans,
Correct.
and
Ooh,
that's our
Spartans.
stomping ground.
Yeah.
So Dave goes like this to me last week. He goes, dude, there was a fight there, Greg, and you should have been there. And I'm like, what do you mean, man? He, like I'm his enforcer.
Who said this?
He
Oh
does.
yeah.
And he goes, you should have been there, man. I needed you.
Yeah, you were supposed to come to the show, and you didn't.
I know, man.
You suck.
I
I had a crazy. Wait, no, that wasn't.
No, that was
show.
the one before, but
No,
we were supposed to come last
yeah,
week.
you're supposed to. Yeah.
Because
But what happened at this show? Oh my, yeah, I can't even talk about it. It's a whole thing going on.
oh yeah.
Ugh.
So I want to fucking find my niche, and I'm thinking, like, I like this
Thinking
podcast.
St. Vincent de Paul.
Right. Giving out soup to all
No,
them.
receiving the soup.
Right.
What?
No, receiving the soup.
What does that mean?
It's a homeless shelter.
Oh,
St. Vincent de Paul.
The people watching know.
yeah. The two.
Oh, they're there.
I bet you didn't like and subscribe yet.
Wait, I have to be inside by now. So
Right.
I forgot where the
Hey,
fuck
let me
I
ask you a
was
question. What do you think of Do you ever watch Kill Tony?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I try not to watch. So the hard part is I can't watch a lot of comedy. People always say, "Who's your favorite comedian?" That's the most common question you get as a comic.
Yeah.
Is who's your favorite comedian? And I don't really have a favorite comedian. I appreciate everybody's style of comedy,
Right.
so I like styles of comedy, and they're insult comics, and insult comics are cool. I touch on that. I do insult comedy every once in a while. It depends. Like if someone
Hecklers, you got to be prepared.
So, and the problem with heckling is, so everybody thinks, heckling is, that's funny. It makes the show. No, it doesn't.
No,
it
a lot of times.
It disrupts it.
It disrupts the show. It's a pain in the dick. I don't, you know what I mean? It's just, I just would love to watch that person die, physically die.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to do the whole thing. You know,
Right.
can I do it? Yeah. Is it cute? Yeah. It'll do, it'll give you 10 minutes entertainment. But what the crowd doesn't know is you just fucked up the rest of the show, because once you go to that area, it's hard to go back.
I
and do,
knew
like,
it.
You
Yeah.
can't, like, you're in the middle. Okay, we're at the movies. We're watching this love story. And then all of a sudden you get up and you go beat the fuck out of the guy in the second row.
Right.
Right.
And then, and everybody's cool and crying. And then you just come back and go, okay, honey, where were we? Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to regain.
Well, it's kind of like you're at a graduation. You go, hey, want to see my daughter? It makes no sense. Why would you do that at a club? You wouldn't do it at a graduation thing or a wedding.
Well, it's just...
I don't understand what you just said.
I didn't
You want
get
to
it
see my
either.
daughter? You want to see my daughter?
Like
Please
someone-
don't do
Oh,
that.
just some random statement. Just
Just
to
a
yell.
random statement. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and that's the
Okay.
thing. So people yell at stupid shit, and then people do things because they want to trip you up. But the main thing is, usually where it happens is somebody will be talking, and the worst thing is when you're trying to talk over somebody who's talking, and you try to be like, hey guys, where'd you learn how to whisper? Helicopter? Shut the fuck up. I'm doing a show. And they don't shut up, and then you hit them again, and then they get mad because they're drunk. And when people are drunk, they don't give a fuck about the show, so they just want to be,
I want to be.
I just
Or-
got that. Where'd you learn to whisper in a helicopter?
That's sad, dude.
I know anyway, guys.
So the other part is that it's either that they're drunk or they're the funny guy or funny girl. So
Right.
when I go somewhere, whoever's the funny one in somebody's group, now I'm being funny on stage and their friends are laughing at me. Now they're kind of jealous because, hey, I'm the funny guy. So
Right,
they
right.
want to prove
Right,
that they're
right,
no. So now it's a dick measuring contest. So then
He
they
is
try
the
to fuck
funny
with
guy,
me.
by the way.
Well, not
So-
because you want to go, yo, you want to take this mic?
Well, so
You
I've
couldn't
done
do
that.
it.
I said, here, if you want to come up, bro, I'll sit there, and I've done it. I went and sat in the seat. I said, go take the mic and.
Right.
I had a guy go up and he's and everybody's going, get the fuck off the stage. And I'm like,
Right.
there you go, bro. You know what I mean? So, but now you got to bring that all back and
Right,
bring it.
right.
So,
You gotta recoup.
So yeah, people are like, oh, I love when the comedian smashes on the person. And yeah, I get it. I get it. But if you want a long show, then you shouldn't. That's just gonna fuck things up. So back to
you
the
got a
original
rhythm.
question is, I don't watch a lot of comics because what'll happen is I do a lot of improv. Any comic that does improv, you're counting on your brain.
Yeah.
Your brain is saying shit. Your mouth is saying shit that's not really connected to your brain. So
Right.
sometimes I'll say something, and I don't hear it until you hear it.
Right.
So sometimes I'll laugh, and it's not because I'm laughing at my own joke. I'm laughing at some fucking joke that came out of my mouth that my brain never told me about. So I'll be like, holy shit, that was funny. So the problem with that is that if I just watched a comedy special and those things were in my brain, somebody said some funny stuff, I'll probably repeat something. Not that I wanted to steal the guy's act. I didn't do it intentionally, but it's in my brain.
Right.
And I'm moving so fast that you just said something that fits that scenario. I'll think I thought of it.
Right.
Just like you stole
But it's
his fucking
regurgitated.
idea. Remember
Right, I did.
You said, oh, I thought of something. When
If he
really
don't,
Austin,
if he
yeah.
don't say nothing about it, it's mine.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I owned it.
he was like, oh, I thought of that. And Austin's like, no, you didn't, dumb fuck. I
Whatever.
thought of it. So, same thing. But
If
I
I-
would do the exact same thing. So I try not to watch.
So listen,
much
man, you
comedy.
gotta have someone, not that you emulate because you have to have your own gig, but someone that you just really like.
But there's been so many people. So there's like Bill Burr. I like his style of comedy, but I can't watch too much of him. Like I said,
because you become
I'll steal it.
Yeah,
you know? And that's the thing. But then you watch what a lot of people don't realize. It's the persona of the comedian that makes it. So what people like Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor, if you mix them together, who do you got?
You got Eddie Murphy.
No,
You got a crack addict, fucking rapist.
No, you got Chris Rock. Think about Chris Rock's delivery mannerisms.
Yeah.
What you gonna do with a thing in the butt? So he's got that Bill Cosby, the cadence, but then he's got the Richard Pryor fucking hardcoreness.
Yeah.
So if you take those two together, he stole, borrowed, whatever you want to say, the two delivery methods and then put them together. So next time you listen to Chris Rock, you're gonna go, "Oh
Dude,
shit!"
you just fucked me up for Chris Rock.
Right,
Yeah,
now
so-
he's
But it's funny. Listen, he didn't.
now he's Bill Pryor.
And did he do it on purpose? I don't know. But that's what I hear.
Right.
As a comedian, I listen to cadence and I listen to what they do. So it's not so much like because I know what you. It's like watching a magician. Once you know magic and you watch a magician, you can't say, "Oh, Copperfield's my favorite magician." No, you appreciate what they're doing because you understand sleight of
Do you
hand.
feel that
understand-
way as an amateur, very amateur magician? By the way, my brother does magic.
That's right. So when I see shit, I'm like, I appreciate it. And they
Making a cock disappear isn't considered
in
magic,
my,
just so you know.
I can make it disappear in my ass and come out my mouth.
It would have been funny if you said, "I can make it disappear in your ass."
Come on, Craig's mouth. That'd be weird.
See, that would have been funny.
That'd be weird.
But I didn't say it. I fucked it up.
Hey, so did you ever see that comedian that they were making fun of him and stuff, and he goes, "Pay attention" or something, and the dude just looked at his pants. He just came in his pants. He goes, "But wait," and then the dude spit.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
They were pretending to be David Copperfield.
Is that
No, not David Copperfield. David Blaine.
Oh, and then an orgasm came out
Out of his mouth.
because he said that. I don't want to say come. Orgasm came out of the dude's
Right, he
mouth.
goes, "You came in your mouth." You came in your pants. He goes, "Oh, no, now look." And he goes,
And Dude, that shit was crazy.
That's pretty funny.
It is.
And listen, and that's the whole thing. So there's comedy for every crowd, and a lot of comics start their career and go, "All right, this is who I'm going to be, and my audience is going to find me," and that's great. Or like my path was different. I didn't wake up going, "Oh." I didn't go to sleep every night. I'm gonna go to all the open mics and I'm gonna sit and write shit and everything. I never did. I never wrote a
Either
fucking
gonna
thing.
kill or die.
I would just make shit up on stage that I thought was kind of funny, and then I'd add to it. Then the next night I'd add to it, and I'd add a thing. And
So you're more of one of those comedians that engage with the crowd.
so yeah, but not only that,
like Matt Rife.
Right.
yeah. So Matt Rife he's actually a very talented comic.
Yeah,
'cause
everybody's jealous of him because he's a good-looking dude, and all the chicks want to bang him. But
He
he
has
is
quick
the
retorts.
Okay, remember Dane Cook
Very
back in
quick
the day?
Yeah, right.
All right, he's the Dane Cook of now. So Dane Cook had that. But think about it. Dane Cook went to Madison Square Garden and sold out like 10 shows.
Well,
or
he
something
got popular.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
He got popular because of MySpace. So
Yeah, but he's still okay, and
Matt
because
Rife
he's a good-looking dude,
Right.
and chicks liked him. So he got a bunch of. So he didn't have to be super funny. He
Right.
was cute funny,
Right.
and he's that guy that makes you laugh. And he had a good his way of doing stuff. He's a cinematic adventure. And he'd act. He did a lot of acting out. He'd overact stuff out. And that's funny, But okay, Sebastian, what's his face?
Malabali or whatever.
Yeah.
Malascalco, right?
Yeah. So Sebastian, he does his whole thing is that character of an Italian.
Right. Tells the stories.
telling
how
the
they grew up.
story, and he's doing the thing, and he overacts it, but that's funny. But
He said, "I don't watch many comedians."
no,
He said he known every one of them.
But I won't say. Yeah, but I've never watched. I won't watch their whole act.
No, you
I'll
see
the
snippets,
TikTok taking a
Real.
shit.
That dude,
There he comes up. I'll watch.
dude, that dude Schwartz is the funniest dude. You ever see that new comedy special, Life? I thought it was fucking really.
Not Schwartz, asshole.
Adam
What's the guy with the mustache?
Schultz.
Schultz. I said Schultz. He
Yeah,
has the
yeah.
one called Life, and then at the end of his show, he got all tender after he's getting all raunchy and said, "This is the birth of my child," and everyone was like, "Oh, a tear." I liked it. Remember
Because he had to go through a whole bunch of shit with insemination and shit. That's all.
and that was his whole stick, how he had to get in vitro or whatever it was.
Whatever it was.
Well, a lot of comedy, the best comedy is written off of real shit.
Exactly.
You know, I used to tell a whole thing about my kids being born and going to a gynecologist, and that was all real. None of it was made up. It was.
Tell me more.
It was the whole thing of
Your
going
kid's
there.
going.
Yeah, it was the whole thing of going to the gynecological office, and here I am. And
Oh, you're talking about your daughter, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was-
I'm saying.
I thought he was talking about his son.
no, I'm talking about both of them being born.
Oh, okay. I thought it was transitioning.
No, so the whole
Oh,
idea
damn,
is
dude.
that real
Like a
comedy,
little-
all these comics that have a real funny story, most of it isn't made up. There's usually some truth behind it.
Yes,
And that's what's
yes.
so the funniest shit, if we're analyzing comedy, is I feel is the things you can relate to. So if I say something that happened to you, you're gonna find it 10 times more funnier than just random
Right,
fucking jokes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, 'cause it means something.
so hitting that, so I do a lot of fundraisers. Most of my fundraisers is a mixed crowd of people. So I don't, most of my stuff, I try to do stuff that is the general public is going to understand. So I don't try to get too, you got to be careful which way you go down if you start doing this type of humor or that type of humor, because then you alienate half the crowd. So you try to stay away from politics, you stay away from religion, you stay away from, there's certain topics you just,
It's hard to
Yeah,
say.
because it's going to cause a brawl.
well, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So you stay with things that happen in life.
Well, I get now. What about if you read the crowd?
Well, that's the thing. You have to.
Read
So
it.
you have to read
this
the
way,
crowd.
you go a Trump joke or a fucking Biden
But
joke.
it's not worth. It's not worth doing it because you're going to lose half the crowd. You know what I mean? So okay, you did it, but why'd you do it? If your goal there, I'm being paid to make everybody laugh. So that's how I look at it. I'm there to make sure everybody has a good time. Do I have a political agenda or a religious agenda that I want to get across? Well, that's another story. And that's where comics start going bad in life. When you see these comics that later on in life, like, what's his name? I can see his face. His name escapes me. But he got, over time, he started getting more and more political and just yelling at people and stuff like that.
Bill Maher?
Well, yeah, Bill Maher and, no, before that. Who's,
Oh, George Carlin.
George Carlin.
I knew
Thank
exactly
you.
where
Thank
you were going with
Yeah, I
that.
can see his face, but I couldn't get
George Carlin.
George,
He's
no,
very
Carlin.
well-
George Carlin.
Carlin. I said Carlton.
Yeah,
the
George-
doorman.
George Carlin.
Or do the Carlton.
As he went on in life, he got more and more like, he was smart. He was a genius. George Carlin he was a genius. But, he's telling you
You
stuff.
offend people.
So, yeah, so you got to find stuff that, like I said, it's, things that happen that, me walking into a gynecologist's office for the first time is weird because I'm a dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you don't do that. And then you walk in and there's your girl and she's up in the thing and she's spread open and she got
Then
the
you gotta-
hat, the badge, the glove.
And you got a
Look
duck
like-
in her pussy.
And she's like,
Did you get the pill? That's what that was about.
the pill?
Yeah, you put her on the pill. She was like 16-year-old girl. How old was your girl when you took your daughter when you took her to the gynecologist?
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about? He's talking about his kids, bro.
He's so retarded. Me, I'm talking
Just
about
when the gummy kicked
No.
in.
The gummy just kicked in, dude.
Oh, Jesus. What a mess. He's like, what's it? I'm like,
Why is he taking his daughter?
I'm
to
like,
the
I'm talking
gynecologist?
about my daughter's in the vagina right now. And he's like, what'd you say
What's
to the
the
daughter?
difference?
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. When you go to a
Are you
show,
cringing right
and
now,
somebody
Austin?
becomes
Very
drunk or belligerent, and then they fuck up the whole show.
You
This
can
is
wish.
the-
You
this
can
is
wish
the
it.
perfect- guy's doing.
This is the perfect example
Fucking up the-
of somebody
Show us your
fucking up
daughter.
the show. Yeah. I'm talking about walking in, my old lady's up in the thing with the snatch open up, and I'm trying to look in to talk to my kid, and that's what we're discussing. But
You're trying to talk to your kid coming
Yeah,
out of a
because he's like-
vagina? Now
yes.
that's weird.
No, it's not, because he says you want to hear the
Come
heart.
on, batter up.
He said you want to hear the heartbeat. And I'm like, yeah. So I reached down and put my head near the hole, and I'm listening, but I didn't hear nothing. So I was concerned at that point in time. I didn't know how the whole thing works.
Right, dude.
You don't heartbeat from
He
someone's
knows
head.
that. That's the joke. Damn, dude.
Dude, I'm lost.
Yeah, you are.
Forgive me.
So
Totally
this is what happens with the one extra chromosome. So you may want to call.
That Down syndrome
You
bitch
may
is
want to
hot.
call.
That's all I'm saying, dude.
Somebody's gonna be calling you on the same thing.
Right.
God damn
You
right.
just don't look as good, though.
So, the last one I have to talk about is someone told me about this dude.
So what? Somebody was living in New Zealand? I don't understand.
Where's that coming from? Who's living in New Zealand?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that's what we were talking about.
No.
Oh, go ahead. I apologize.
I didn't know.
This podcast about this dude named Two Turnt Tony. And it's
And then there was a guy on a boat. But
oh,
why
you
was
seen that? Oh yeah, you seen that? He's like the captain of.
No, I'm just totally fucking with you like you just did on my last fucking bit. And now you see how it is. How does it work when somebody's
fuck
just throwing
you,
random shit out there, right? And you're like, what the fuck's he talking
Right,
about?
dude.
See, now you know what it feels
What
like.
about your daughter?
Look, yeah, what about your daughter? How about your son? Look.
This is the only thing that's safe.
Greg, did you put your ear to his heartbeat? Come on, man.
No, because that's weird.
Okay. Just thank God your mother didn't like giving blowjobs. So you wouldn't be here right now. See,
Right.
you never think about those
Dude,
things.
everyone knows that blowjobs weren't invented until the 50s. That no one gave blowjobs until the 50s. And then like 60s.
There would be so much more
and then
population
60s,
here now.
then they introduced like anal stuff. But
Think
50s
about how
where
many- think
blowjobs
about-
started.
Dude,
Think
I
about how
call-
many kids would have ended up as indigestion.
Right, dude. Dude, I call that misinformation.
I'm totally spreading misinformation. Yeah, man.
You're not spreading any information right now.
You just, you're out of
You
control.
got maybe 3 cells firing right now. You go.
So I interrupted you, then come back.
Go back. I'm never coming back.
What is it, Jack?
The last time I'll ever be in your basement.
Not mine. It's my Austin's, my son's.
My Austins.
Well, he's gonna be when he produces my show. It's gonna be a lot better, and me and him are going places.
Damn.
Austin, you gonna jump ship?
No, never.
Yeah, this dude's.
He's jumping ship. He already gave me the.
Not to another ship.
Yeah, just jumping off. Just jumping off.
Right, he's going overboard.
But this dude, two-turned Tony.
Yeah.
That was what I was getting at. This dude is making $1 gazillion because he carries a duck around. He's a very handsome dude with a
I saw
body.
He's rich and he
Yeah.
does crazy shit in the house and
Yeah.
he tortures his parents all the time.
Yes.
I didn't know what his name was. I come across it in between.
and he
taking
carries a
dump.
duck.
Yeah.
But he's built.
And he just built a huge duck pond in the house. Or
Yes,
something
and
the other
he's-
day. I
yes.
saw that. I never knew what that was about.
Yes.
And he just do it. He just how'd he come up with
Dave
it?
was just looking at his body and saying, "What up?"
Dude, I think he's hot. No diddy.
He's
No
hot.
diddy. He's a good looking dude, man. I'm jealous a little bit.
Well, it's like Austin. Did you ever see that girl who like noodles catfish? She's really hot. She's country.
No.
You know what
Wait,
noodling
if
is?
by noodling a catfish,
Yes.
please tell me what that means.
You never.
Oh, legit
Noodling
a catfish.
yes.
Oh, all right.
Use your arm to go them, and then they bite your arm, and
He
then
got
you
it,
lift them
he got
up.
Okay, but
got
there,
it.
it could be something
It
at
could
the
be
swingers
no-
club.
right,
You guys
right,
make that.
right,
Hey, you
right.
want to noodle my catfish?
Right.
You know?
But this
That's
girl's.
gotta be cold or something. That's
Yeah,
cold or
that's-
something.
Well, what he saw.
Noodle your catfish. We got to use that for
Dude,
something.
right.
We have
Dude,
like next time we're at a bar, we go.
I say that's the name of our podcast.
We
now.
should walk.
Noodle and the catfish.
You should walk up to Chance and go. I would love to noodle your catfish.
I'll be down with that. I might get slapped in the face, but whatever.
Dude, you got to change the name to noodling your
Catfish,
catfish.
yes, with Craig and Greg.
Noodling the catfish with Craig and Greg.
Our fucking podcast is so generic. It like that. If we named it that,
Right.
that would be something.
that's what I'm
You would
saying.
probably double, and you would have 5.
That's
fucking
what I'm saying.
watchers
That dude had
if we
turned
did
up
that.
Tony. We have fucking Noodle and the fucking catfish.
Austin.
Austin, how's
We
the
gotta
bandwidth?
talk.
You okay? You okay? You
talk
maxing
after.
out?
What are we at now?
I don't want Comcast
At
calling
least
you and be like,
25
hey,
minutes.
you know, bandwidth's getting a little tight over here.
45.
45
This
minutes?
is 45 minutes.
Longest podcast
no one
ever.
else is. No one ever. Hey, so listen. I'm all done, man. I got nothing to.
I was done before I got here.
Hey, listen, man.
He took a deep breath before he got out of his truck.
And just so you know, I had to bring my whole van of shit in here to do it. So I get invited to a podcast, and I'm like the
I gotta
lighting
provide
manager. I'm the camera guy. I'm the fucking
Sound check guy.
I'm the grip. I'm the
Yeah,
He's
the
a gaffer.
gaffer. I'm the gaffer.
That's the guy that gives blowjobs at the end of the night.
Right.
by the way.
Exactly.
So that's why we're gonna shut it down now. He's gotta give gaffers.
But listen, guys, this was really fun, man. I hope you enjoyed Dave Reilly, man. This is my man.
If you go to funnyguytickets.com, you could come see where I'm going to be. I have a few shows in Connecticut. Then I go to New Jersey. Then we go out west.
Dave-
Funnyguytickets.com. Come see a show.
And this was brought to you by GB Electric, too, man, for all your electric needs, man. Hey, I had fun. I hope you did, too.
Peace out, guys.